Hello Newsmark viewers. We continue to bring you all the hot developments regarding the Russia-Ukraine war. As you know, the war continues. In recent days, the Ukrainian army has been active on both offensive and defensive fronts. The attacks on Russian targets show the destructive firepower of the Ukrainian army. Long-range attacks by the Ukrainian army in the past days have also increased Moscow's security concerns. While the Kyiv army continues its operations, Moscow is not idle. Moscow continues to mass troops on the border with Ukraine as part of a new military operation plan. The increasing number of Russian troops seems to make the Ukrainian army's job more difficult. For this reason, the Kyiv administration has started attempts to apply a different method of struggle. The Kyiv administration, which wants to use its most lethal weapons against the Russian troops in the region, needs to get approval for this. European countries, which support Ukraine under all circumstances, are not leaving Kyiv without support in this regard. Kyiv is getting the authorization for the use of weapons it needs to shoot Russian soldiers. European countries also continue to deliver support packages to Kyiv. Last but not least, the developments regarding the F-16 jets are met with great excitement. Periods of war have significant effects on international politics and agenda. The long-standing war between Russia and Ukraine continues to maintain its place on the world agenda. The air power of the Ukrainian army using unmanned aerial vehicles will reach incredible dimensions thanks to the F-16 fighter jets that will be delivered in the near future. Ukraine's plan to hit Russian targets was prepared with great dedication. Now, if you are ready, let's analyze the latest developments and news together. As Newsmark, we continue to bring you the developments regarding the Russia-Ukraine war. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our daily reports and explanations. I also read all your comments on our videos. Please continue to share your ideas about our content in the comments with us in the comments. Tell us in the comments what content you would like to see on the Newsmark channel. Let's start if you are ready. Newsmark reports. Recently, an incredible move came from the leader of Ukraine. Volodymyr Zelensky has requested permission to attack with Western missiles while thousands of Russian troops are massing on Ukraine's northern border. Stating that these moves are necessary to ensure Ukraine's security, Zelensky stated that the struggle will continue under all circumstances. New troop formations and expanded activities in warehouses and depots in settlements north of Kharkiv, Ukraine's second-largest city, were detected as a result of the work of Ukrainian military intelligence. Volodymyr Zelensky warned that thousands of Russian troops were preparing for a new offensive. He appealed to the West to allow Russia to fire Western missiles to stop the advance. Military experts report on the latest situation on the front line. There is some suspicion that the accumulation of Russian troops could also be a means of dispersing Ukrainian forces that are struggling to hold positions on the front lines. Ukrainian officials have expressed disappointment at being banned from striking targets inside Russia with Western missiles, arguing that this gives Russian forces a safe space to prepare ground attacks on Ukrainian cities and fire missiles. Following a recent attack on Kharkiv, officials warned that the Kremlin was also planning to attack Sumy, 100 miles from Kharkiv. British Foreign Secretary Lord Cameron said it was up to Ukraine to decide how British weapons would be used and insisted it had the right to strike targets on Russian territory. In addition, Poland and Sweden, along with NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg, have given Ukraine permission to strike targets inside Russia. Pressure is mounting for the US to follow Britain's lead. Despite concerns that this could escalate the war, Germany and Italy both reject such authorization. At a NATO meeting the other day, Stoltenberg said that if Ukraine cannot attack military targets on Russian territory, the Ukrainians have one hand tied behind their backs, making it very difficult for them to mount a defense. On a visit to Spain the same day, Mr. Zelensky secured another £850,000 in military aid. Apart from the Spanish aid package, the Spanish Prime Minister, Pedro Sanchez, has not authorized Ukrainian commanders to fire Spanish weapons at Russia. So far, Ukraine has been using domestic drones to hit targets in Russia, mainly oil refineries, railroads and military airfields. However, the other day, sources confirmed that it had hit a Russian nuclear radar station 1,000 miles away, close to the border with Kazakhstan. This was the second Ukrainian strike on Russia's nuclear missile infrastructure in 4 days, a concern for Western allies worried about further war. Ukrainian officials emphasize that the war will not end unless they destroy military targets inside Russia. They therefore call on everyone to make the necessary sacrifices. In the shadow of political moves, Ukrainian authorities are also increasing their investments in the military. European countries are also continuing their attempts to respond to Ukraine's need for weapons. Last day, Belgium took another important step regarding Ukraine's fighter jets. The Belgian foreign minister said that Belgium will send 30 of its F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine in the coming years as Kiev waits to blow up Western-made jets. Brussels will deliver the F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine by 2028. Belgian Foreign Minister Hadja Labib told the press. The first batch of aircraft will be delivered by the end of the year, she added. The support to the Ukrainian army is expected to have a major impact on its firepower and air power. Kiev has long demanded advanced, more modern jets to upgrade and renew its air force, battered by more than 2 years of war against Russia's superior and more numerous aircraft. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said earlier this month that Kiev needs 120 to 130 F-16s to fend off Russia's fleet. Kiev's Western backers have stipulated that Ukrainian personnel must complete training programs and get all necessary infrastructure and facilities up and running in the country before the jets can become operational. Several countries have trained Ukrainian pilots, and those assigned to the U.S. military in Tucson, Arizona, have begun graduating, U.S. officials said earlier this month. How do you assess Ukraine's request to strike the accumulated Russian troops? Do you think the Ukrainian army is succeeding in fending off Russian attacks? How do you assess the situation of the Russian army, and what kind of power do you think the Ukrainian army will gain with the new support packages and fighter jets? We value your opinion. Please share it with us.